Hello, Silent Crying Bat here with another video, and this time it is HD Collections. Yay! Oh, what do you want to say? Anywho, I know this was a hot topic like a year ago at this point, and I know I'm extremely late to the party, but I still want to throw in my 2 cents. Especially since there's a couple HD Collections out there of games I haven't played. I'll get to those later. Anywho, I'm going to be going through the great, the good, the average, the bad, and the worst, the horrendous. And trust me, you guys probably know what the worst HD collection is. Hell, it was in gaming news for 3 weeks, and it's like one of a lot of people's favorite companies. In fact, 3 of these HD collections are from the same company. But we'll get to that. Anyway, let's start out. I know people want to start with the best and get to the worst. Let's do the worst first. Let's end on a high note. The worst is, of course, Silent Hill HD Collection for the PS3 and the 360. Now, I have the 360 version behind me, and if that's anything to go by, the PS3 version has got to be worse. Okay, well, how bad is it? Let's start with the second game, Silent Hill 2. And first off, before I even go there, let me say this. In most HD collections, you get at least 3 games, maybe a couple extra ones if you're lucky. Like with the best one I'll get to later. In Silent Hill, the HD collection, you get 2. You get Silent Hill 2 and 3. You don't get 4. I mean, hell, they could have done 4. Anyway, in Silent Hill 2, it's apparently obvious that it's a bad one when you pop into the title screen and you don't see the fog. You know, famous Silent Hill fog, it's gone. They removed it. It's like they created this big box around your character, and as you move it, pushes the fog out of your way to reveal the low-res textures that they didn't even fucking touch up. For one. For two, they changed the sound just a bit. It's a bit different. I understand they had to for it being a conversion, sort of, but it's completely different. At least I can tell, because I played Silent Hill 2 ridiculously much when I was younger. Also, they changed voice acting. Well, they changed it, but they gave you an option. You can go with the original from the Silent Hill 2 PS2, or you can do the reworked version they did specifically for the HD collection. At least they make you choose. Keep in mind, that'll come into play later. But like I said, they changed the fog, they changed the sounds, they've changed the voices, and it loses its atmosphere. So you already walk out of the bathroom where the first cutscene is, and look over the water, right? You can see the sky, the backdrop, which is basically just black, and you can see the lake, which looks horrendous. Yes, I get it's a PS2 conversion, but still, it looks bad, and you can tell they put no effort into this. Konami put no effort into this one whatsoever. Now, on to Silent Hill 3. Remember how I mentioned they give you a choice to change voices in Silent Hill 2? In 3, no. It's reworked voices for all the characters. And yes, I get it. Heather and all the characters' voice acting in 3 wasn't the best, but their voices fit their character. That snarky, low, bratty voice that Heather had, and the pompous, pious voice that Claudia had, and the quirky, offbeat asshole that Vincent had, all worked for the character. I can't stand Vincent's voice in the reworkers. I can't stand Claudia's voice, and Heather sounds like a fucking preppy cheerleader from one of those high school comedies, or from a 1980s horror film, like the one where you want to get stabbed to death the first one off. Ugh. Silent Hill's horrible. Konami put no fucking effort into it, and they released it with like 3 or 4 other games at that point during the gaming rush of the fall. Now, let's get on to the bad. The bad is Devil May Cry. Again, almost 0 effort. The conversion's horrible. The cutscenes aren't even 4:3. They're in like that, I think it's like 320 by 240 or something. It's a weird square aspect ratio, like you see on really, really old YouTube videos. Oh, on all three games, even Devil May Cry 3, which came at the end of the PS2's lifespan, or near the end anyway, and had some of the best graphics in the entire series. I'm getting off topic here, though. The conversion was just bad, and I'll just leave it at that, because the gameplay is still the same. Hack, slash, combos. Dante's an asshole, but lovable. Anyway, moving on. The average. Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, and Zone of the Enders. Now, why are these average? It was a good conversion. They didn't go out of the way to make it ridiculously flashy or overdone. It's a good conversion. No one needed changes, and the games play pretty much like they did on the PS2. At least I assume for something. I never actually played the PS2 version. I just played the demo that came with Metal Gear Solid 2 at the time. Now the good. Sly Cooper. I love the Sly Cooper series. I have yet to play Thieves in Time, and I really, really want to. Anyway, fanboy gushing. Sly Cooper gives you what you would expect. Great conversion. Game's rarely unchanged. The cutscenes are a little fuzzy in the second and third one because the way they did where you go into your safe houses and stuff. But other than that, they look okay. And you can't change the cutscene size like you can in some of them, but that's okay. It works perfectly. And as a bonus, you get these little mini games. You can play with the Move or the controller. Now, I don't have a Move, so I can't say how they play with the Move, but with the analog sticks on the controller, they're okay. They work pretty good, actually. Better than I expected. And all of these, before I go on, all of these have trophies or achievements associated with it. For all you trophy whores, achievement whores, and the collectors out there, you can go through that. And watch out. Some of the ones in Silent Hill and Ratchet and Clank are a bitch. Trust me. Play through the game, and I think it's like 3 hours, no saves on, I think it's like hardest for puzzles and combat. And in 3, that can get annoying, especially when it comes to 2 of the bosses. But I'll get to that later. Or talk about that in some other video. Anyway, now, on to the best. The creme de la creme of the HD collections. Metal Gear Solid. I have the 360 version because, like, the PS3 version was non-existent. I went to GameStop on day of release, and they didn't have it. So that's how hard it was to find. Hard it is to find a PS3 version of Metal Gear. Anywho, why is it the best, you ask? Because amazing conversion. You get 5 games total, technically. I'll get that on that in a minute. And it just looks great. Basically, what they did is they took the original games, converted them, and made it so you can actually stretch the cutscenes to full 16:9, and they look as good as the PS2 ones did in 4:3. So basically, if you play them side by side, the cutscenes would look just as good. Minus one being a little bit stretched because of the ratio. And you also get Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 2, and in 2, they give you what's called Snake Stories, which is basically the parallel story of Snake sneaking into the facility alongside Raiden. So as Raiden's doing his thing, Snake is doing his thing. And, as a bonus, these are all the upgraded subsistent versions, which are basically re-releases of Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, where they gave you extra crap that they only got in Japan, then it came over here. Because, of course, they think it's everything fucking first. Anywho. So that's why you have Snake Stories. And in 3, you've got all kinds of really, really cool and slightly pervy stuff. Like, there's a theater mode, I think, where you can watch Eva get undressed and stuff. I haven't played that one extensively. I just played the campaign. We'll go back to it. And you get Peace Walker, which is a PSP exclusive from Metal Gear, alongside for the PSP you had Acid 1 and 2, Peace Walker, and there was another one. I just can't remember what it was. Anyway, amazing conversion. It looks like it could have been a console game back when Metal Gear Solid 3 came out. It looks that damn good. Now, bonuses. You get bonuses with the base games, 2, 3, and Peace Walker, but you also get as an extra Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, the originals. Not that crappy NES version. You get the originals that came out on the MSX computers in Japan only. And, like with all these, for trophy whores, achievement whores, collectors, again, me, you can get there's a separate set of trophies for the original Metal Gear games. And Peace Walker has its own set as well. So if you, for 60, for example, you've got basically 3 sets of achievements for 5 games. 2 or 3 share a set. Peace Walker has its own set, and then the originals have their own set, unless they did something where they integrated 1 and 2, that is, the originals in the Peace Walker. I don't know. I haven't played those yet, but I will. Trust me. Anywho, in conclusion, if you're interested in what HD conversions are good and are bad, it's ranked as such, going from best to worst. Best, Metal Gear. Good, Sly Cooper. Average, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, Zone of the Enders. Bad, Devil May Cry. Of course, if you're a fan of any of these franchises, you're not going to really care. Well, I shouldn't say that because the Silent Hill fans went nuts. I still bought it, but anyway. And the worst, the horrendous, the god-fucking-awful Silent Hill. Do not buy the Silent Hill HD collection unless you have never played them before. And even, I'd recommend going out and getting a PS2 and pre-owned copy, because it's like, it'd probably be just about as bad as buying a copy brand new, just going to pay $40, I think, on the day of release. Anyway, this has been Silent Crying Bat, and I'll catch you later. Also, Coke Zero.